Have you ever wondered why during wedding ceremonies, the pastor always says, "What the Lord has joined together, let no one put asunder"? That no one includes both the husband and the wife. Hello, this is Aunty Mary bringing biblical truths to life, especially in light to the family being the basic unit of our society. Today, I will be talking on the topic, watch out for intruders in your marriage. Our marriage union needs to be actively protected. It needs to be jealously guarded against any form of intruders. Intruders are not only people here. Intruders involve activities, mindset, and other things. For example, work, financial involvement, kids, friends, church activities, TV, phone, affair, hobbies, ambitions are all intruders if we don't manage them well. When God says, "What He has joined together, let no man put asunder," it means that spouses need to secure their love and romance for one another. It means that spouses need to set a limit to their needs, desires, and demands. We need to say no to our spouses and also to be able to receive no when our spouse says no to us. Spouses need to protect their love from the outside world as stewards of the marriage covenant that God was involved. Because when you were getting married, you were taking a covenant with your spouse before God and before all the witnesses who were present. So you have that moral obligation to protect it jealously. Your career, TV watching, your hobby, financial involvement, they are not bad in themselves. But the way we go about them, don't allow them to come between your love for your spouse. Don't allow them to intrude in your relationship with your spouse. Marriage is a two-man club, and it involves two hearts that must work together in order to make it work. Marriage brings out the most vulnerable and fragile parts of us. So it needs a grace-filled environment, a grace and secured environment in order for it to thrive. When this environment is not there, the spouses will see themselves plunging in other things like watching TV, being on their phone, being so involved in their hobbies, going about their financial involvement, pursuing their career. This is because that warm, grace-filled environment has not been provided by each other. In such an environment, sarcasm and emotional unavailability will be very prominent, and there will be no love. How do intruders come into our marriages? When a spouse notices his vulnerability and does not share it with the other, then he is allowing other intruders to come in between them. And these vulnerabilities can be like fear. It can be a feeling like you don't want to be over-dependent. You don't want to discomfort your spouse. You don't want to be seen like you are nagging. You don't want to be seen like a failure. Those are vulnerable situations. So when you notice them, it is good that you talk it out with your spouse. If not, it will keep growing in you. Out of a sudden, you see yourself going away and getting involved in other things which is not heart to heart with your spouse. Another terrible intruder that can come into a marriage is when a spouse notices the weakness of the other spouse, and instead of discussing it, the person does not show that atmosphere of grace and compassion and forgiveness. The person feels but hurt, and so it sends away the partner who has those weaknesses, and he gets plunged into other things and not in the life of his spouse. Other things involve things like disappointment in failure, things like somebody falls into sin. But remember that we all are sinners. We have weaknesses, and so we have to help our spouses during their moments of weaknesses. instead of feeling hurt. It is good for spouses to always ask this question: how do you feel about me? What am I doing that hurts you much? When you ask that question, it gives room for you people to share your vulnerabilities, to forgive each other, and to get closer to each other. And so those intruders will not have a leeway to enter. The way we can send out these intruders is to discuss each hurt that you feel, to discuss each weakness that you see in your spouse in a loving, humble, and honorable way. And we have to do our best to create opportunities for a wee time where you talk, you laugh, you go out for picnics, for shopping, for dinner, and other things. Create time that you come together always so that you share these things and you talk over them. And you must be able to listen to each other. And then other things that you have to do is to meet each other's emotional needs. For the man, he needs a woman who is attractive, a woman who is his companion, a woman who will give him good sex, a woman who will respect him. And for a woman, she needs a man who is honest and truthful, a man who supports her financially, a man who leads her spiritually. You can see that in Ephesians 5 from verse 22 to verse 30. So, dear viewers, do not allow intruders inside your marriage by allowing your vulnerabilities to die down. Talk about them over and over with each other, and you will see your marriage will always be at flames. Thank you.